Next thing on the agenda is old business. We have Rico down with the ARRA Green Project.
Welcome, Rick.
Thank you. I was wondering if it'd be all right with the commission. Part of the health stuff we're working on, we were doing a survey about health concerns in the county. If it'd be all right if I ask folks here just to do it, it's okay. What we're looking for, we've got 5 different issues in the county, and we're asking people to rank them from 1 to 5. 1's the one you think is the most important. 5's the one you think the least. We don't want anybody's names, telephone numbers, any of that kind of stuff. We don't care. There it is. Take out the scissors. It's just 1-page sheet. I'll just pass around. There's some pencils. Take a pencil and a sheet. You can do that instead of listening to the phone. Hillbilly should have been here. He was going to give him something to do.
I thought we were just going to color and color book or something.
No, no. And if you guys don't care to fill one out as well in the front here.
I looked at those and just went, like, read those.
I have no problem at all.
Okay. Let me give you an update on the green wastewater project. The last meeting I talked about how Francis, our county sanitarian, and Ryan, our district sanitarian, and I had gone out and looked at some systems that we thought had some problems and found that we had 3 that indeed were not working the way they were supposed to. They were all Board Nimona systems. These are these peat systems. Happens to be, these were put in with the EPA money. Okay, but the Board Nimona folks are the ones who are putting in all the ARRA system stuff. So we contacted Robert Chrisman. He's the Board Nimona engineer for the Eastern Coast. He came out on July 6th. We went around and looked at the systems again with his overview of them. He agreed that there were problems with them and that we need to fix those systems. And so what we're going to do is on August 24th, we're going to combine fixing one of the systems with a training, and we'll do a regional training for sanitarians and installers at that system. Board Nimona has been really, as opposed to our friends at AASHTO, Board Nimona has stepped up to try to help us solve all these things. They're going to bear all the costs involved in it, which I think is great, especially since they are the stimulus, no, EPA grants already spent, and we don't have any money left in it, so it's really good that they're willing to do that. So I'm hopeful that we can take care of all those problems, also give some people some training that I think will help both county sanitarians, because a lot of times these guys are not exactly sure of some of these new systems, and also installers. So I think we're going to have a positive outcome to those problems. We're still working on long-term maintenance. I think the next time we have a community meeting, we're going to be ready to ask the community to vote on some bylaws and articles of incorporation. And the next step after that would be to actually form and try to get nonprofit tax status and get this thing started. It's fairly complicated.
And if you get through this, up to that point, you get something, are we thinking at Sun Junction, you look outside of just that watershed, or are we thinking about
Well,
as new systems come on, or whatever?
Mr. Pridmore's here. I'll use him as an example. They have the Pridmores have a system that works, okay? It's not one of the systems that's been put into either of their projects. And at one point we talked about, well, should we try to pull in people like that? The folks who are working on the maintenance thing feel like what they're working on now is complicated enough.
Yeah.
So they like to work with these new systems, and then after they've got all that fixed, think about expanding.
Well, I can see what there's a need, and if more people participate, better water quality possibly, and of course, maybe make it more paying to make it sustainable.
Sure. Well, and ideally, we hope that our friends in the public service
Well, I wasn't
district
gonna say
would,
that.
would be happy to take this over. But we'll see.
No.
That wasn't on the list.
The other thing that's coming up is, you remember that the ARRA grant, the folks at the GEP stuck in a contingency line item, even though originally they said there wouldn't be any contingency. It was added right at the end. So we've got some extra money. We've talked at the community level to use that extra money and put in one more system. And I think probably at our August meeting, we'll go ahead and draw. That's where we're going to do it. We just felt we couldn't design a criteria, so we have, I think, 8 different families, and we're just going to draw them. People felt that would be the fairest thing that we could do at this point in the game. So we would do that in August, and then I think we'd come to the commission with the recommendation for that family, and then go to the DEP and ask them if they're willing to let us use the money for that. You'll see on the second page, that's the list of the 19 homes that are part of the ARRA Green Project. The status where it says final DHHR inspection, because these are direct discharge, the district sanitarian has to approve them. Those are all the ones that he has approved. They may not be completely completed. They may still have a little work to do on reseeding and moving some earth around and getting rid of some rocks, but they're functioning as approved. So we've got 9 left, we're over halfway. I think if the weather holds, we'll have those done pretty soon. I mean, my thought is that maybe by mid-September, we will have completed all this. The next page is the jobs report. We have to send in a jobs report to DEP, and I'm sure it becomes part of the federal ARRA stuff. This takes us through June. You'll see the totals there. The project has created 4 jobs and sustained 5, and the total payroll that's gone out is just over $57,000 for the 6 months. And then there's a breakdown at the very bottom. You'll see that most of it, of course, has gone to the installation of the systems. Some's gone through county commission payroll, and then there's just a little bit that's other from when we made the signs at the beginning. So that's where we are with wastewater. It's all right, I'll jump to another topic.
I have one quick question.
Yeah, sure.
Back to the Lefport Community Group.
Right.
Do they have the 501c3 paperwork ready, or do we have somebody that's going to prepare that?
Well, if you've got a recommendation.
I just know it's pretty complex.
It is
process.
pretty complex stuff. We've got some people who've done it before in the organization, so we're hoping to use their skills for it. We know we've got to be incorporated with the Secretary of State and have the bylaws before we can do the 501c3. So if you stumble over anybody who'd like to help us, that would be great. Yeah, and it's also, there's a time issue with that too. I mean, we may go, after we finally submit it, we may ask Congressman Ray Hall to help us sort of try to move it along, because we want to get it started.
Take us 8 months to a year sometimes.
I know. That's why we're going to ask him. Okay, I wanted to give you an update of Camp Lakeview. That's our residence camp. There's a sheet there that shows you the activities that we've been doing this summer. I just thought I'd highlight a couple of them. If you look down, the numbers of participants are not very high. And that's been one of our goals, is to try to get more people involved in things. We've done a whole series of community days where we've advertised through the newspaper and sent out to mailing lists saying free day at the lake, y'all come. We've served food. We've had lifeguards, waterfront activities for folks, and we've had some people